Welcome to Cortado Joe, where today's menu is media myths, AI nerves, and Ozempic economics. A dead celebrity can't sue you. AI might remember whether you were rude to it, and weight loss drugs may be coming for impulse shopping. If that sounds like 3 different internet tabs open at once, yeah, that's the episode. One of the nastier points here is that dead people are perfect targets for sensational storytelling. They can't rebut anything, they can't deny a quote, they can't say, hey, that's completely made up, and the wildest version of events always has a market. That was the complaint with disputed portrayals like Albert Goldman's Lennon book and Bob Woodward's account of John Belushi, where the dramatic narrative can steamroll people who actually knew the person. And once the big ugly story is out there, later arguments over sourcing or factual problems rarely travel as far as the original headline. The really grim theory about the internet isn't that somebody needs you to believe one lie. It's that they can just drown you in 50 lies, 10 half-truths, some bot sludge, some AI slop, some foreign influence operation, and eventually you throw your hands up and go, whatever, nothing is real. That's information nihilism, and politically it's brutal because cynical people don't organize, don't resist, and don't expect anything to change. Learned helplessness is a very efficient form of social control, and it doesn't even need a clean narrative, it just needs exhaustion. The press in this view is supposed to be the seatbelt on power. Instead, way too often, it acts like a transmission belt for whatever powerful institutions once circulated. Even Watergate gets dragged into that argument, with allegations about Woodward's intelligence and FBI or CIA ties pushed against the standard heroic version where he challenged power from the outside. The point isn't that Nixon was secretly great, they were clear he wasn't, especially on Vietnam, civil rights, and drug policy. The point is that even famous stories about accountability may also hide an uglier fight between institutions. History can be true-ish and still incomplete in all the important places. Then the tone swings from media paranoia to straight-up technological vertigo. The claim here is that AI is improving so fast it may matter more than any previous tech shift, with systems already cracking problems that stumped human mathematicians for decades. One researcher even treats current models politely in case future intelligences check the logs, which is funny, until you realize he may not be entirely joking. And that's the whole tension. AI could turbocharge cancer detection and drug discovery, while also being a catastrophic risk. We probably can't just pause because competition won't allow it. So humanity's big plan remains deeply on brand. Race ahead with the most powerful tool imaginable and hope alignment catches up later. There was a sharp distinction here between discipline, motivation, and obsession. Discipline means doing the thing, despite friction. Motivation makes the friction smaller. Obsession flips it, so not doing the thing feels worse than doing it. That can build elite performance, but it can also build a casino regular, a doom scroller, an addict, or somebody absolutely wrecking their life over a terrible relationship. The hopeful part is that serial obsessions can cool into durable skills. What starts as compulsion can become identity, training, emotional resilience, professional competence. But healing has a weird bug in it. Once the pain fades, you lose the receipts. You forget how bad the addiction, burnout, or relationship really felt, and relapse starts sounding reasonable because the memory of harm has been sanded down. That's such an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes people go back to familiar failure because success carries uncertainty, pressure, and responsibility. On perfectionism, the key divide was healthy striving versus fear-driven self-surveillance. The uglier version is tied to failure anxiety, indecision, and constant judgment, and they note survey research suggesting it's been climbing since 1989. Their explanation is basically that inequality and social media have turned life into an endless status mirror. If you're always seeing filtered faces, giant wealth gaps, and polished lifestyles, you're not just imagining how high you could rise, you're also obsessing over how publicly you could fall. That business class walk to economy thing is a perfect image. Visible hierarchy has a way of making people feel evaluated before anyone even says a word. The GLP-1 conversation is maybe the most weirdly fascinating one because it isn't just about appetite. The suggestion is that these drugs may reduce cravings for alcohol, cannabis, video games, and shopping too, which starts to sound like a direct attack on an economy built on repeat desire. There's even an anecdotal claim that Victoria's Secret stock jumped around 300% year over year because women losing weight had to replace bras, and bridal shops are reportedly asking for waivers because bodies may change before the wedding. That is such a deeply modern sentence. Pharmaceutical body recomposition meets retail policy. But the downside is real. Rapid weight loss, without resistance training and solid nutrition, can strip muscle and bone mass, and lots of users regain weight after stopping. So this isn't magic, it's powerful, messy, and likely to reshape consumer behavior in ways nobody fully modeled. Backyard ultra racing sounds fake until you hear the numbers. Roughly 4 miles every hour until only one person is left, with examples here like 96 hours and 395 miles, and a record of 119 hourly laps. That pushes the idea that endurance may be way more trainable than we assume, maybe even in fighters with absurd sustained output. But combat sports also reveal the opposite truth. Bodies can look peak from the outside while bones, joints, nerves, and connective tissue are quietly cashing the bill. That ties into the bigger theme of incentives. People, platforms, and institutions mostly follow the rewards in front of them. Take misinformation. If fake posts weren't monetized, you'd probably get less fake posting without needing to police every opinion. Take politics. If the system rewards donor maintenance, career survival, insider advantages, and future speaking fees, don't act shocked when public service becomes secondary. And on platforms, the Musk Twitter argument lands in the same place. They see the purchase as exposing government involvement in moderation and reducing some self-censorship, while also admitting the place is still a bot-infested chaos machine. More speech is not the same thing as a trustworthy square. It just means the fight is out in the open now. That's it for Cortado Joe. Stay skeptical, be nice to the chatbot just in case, and maybe don't trust a biography that got a little too excited after the funeral. This episode was generated by Podkey. Create your own at podkey.fm.